Hello, my name is Matthew Hagan, and I wanted to talk to you about something. Uh, I've noticed in recent culture, and whenever atheists are either talking about Christianity or they talk with Christians about Christianity, they say Jesus was a good person. Some rules make sense. Jesus seemed pretty nice, but I don't like the God of the Old Testament because you say he's a loving God, but he killed people. He was a tyrant, and he wiped out these people like the Amalekites, or he punished the Egyptians. And they say he's not loving. And whenever you read passages like 1 Samuel 15:3, I'll be using the Holy Christian Standard Bible, it says, "Now go and attack the Amalekites and completely destroy them. Completely destroy everything they have. Do not spare them. Kill men and women, children and infants, oxen, sheep, camels, and donkeys." And that seems kind of harsh when you first look at it. But when you look at, I looked at this stuff, and I'd like to make a second argument. I'd like to argue that. And my argument is that this is exactly what a loving God would do. And to start with that, we have to remember that everything is his. Those children, he can choose to bring them up into his arms whenever he wants. He can choose to kill all of us, whether we're ready for heaven or for hell, at any time, because we are his. Anything he chooses is correct. Morality is not based on us, it is based on him. But the fact is, he did show mercy. And first of all, the Amalekites had attacked the Israelites with no reason. God chose people with no reason, just because they could. But as author Glenn Miller of the Christian think tank states, Amalekites had 200 to 400 years in between the point where they attacked and God said, "I will destroy you," to the point where he said to King Saul, "Go and destroy the Amalekites." And during that time, they were welcomed as immigrants. They were living in Israel. They could choose to immigrate to Israel as foreigners. And with the Egyptians, after the Egyptians had enslaved the Israelites and treated them very harshly, and God punished them, the Egyptians had taken every single baby boy that the Hebrews had that they could and killed them, just done away with them. And God just killed the firstborn. And even after that, it states in Exodus 12:38, an ethnically diverse crowd also went up with them. So even after this, after they have done all this, and after God punishes them, it could have been some other slaves and people residing in Egypt, but it could have also been Egyptians who went up with the Israelites, noticing that God was more powerful than their gods, and choosing to follow Christ, to follow God. Christ wasn't there at the time, and that's really cool, especially when Exodus 12:30 states there was a loud wailing throughout Egypt because there wasn't a house without someone dead. Every one of those people had experienced that loss, and they still chose to follow God. And this is exactly what a loving God would do, because you need to have justice, and he's trying to take care of his people. We just don't like being punished when we break the rules. I'll give you an example. You're a father or a mother, but I'm specifically using a father, and you have 3 children, 3 beautiful children. You have raised, and you tell them these rules, and you just take care of them. But they have a friend named Jimmy, and Jimmy has a dad who serves beer to kids, to his kids and to other kids. And you tell your kids, you don't need beer. You don't need to get drunk. You're under 21 or even under 18, and you can die. But your kids think about it and they say, thanks for making us and protecting us and caring for us and raising us, but Jimmy's dad has beer, and we'd rather have that than you. And so they go off and hang with Jimmy's dad. What would you do? They're underage. You're going to go talk to Jimmy's dad. You're going to have to set the police on him and sue him or get him in trouble with the police and charge him. And you're taking kids back, punish them, and you're going to tell them again the rules. Don't drink beer. This is why. That's exactly what God is doing with us. God sees something that harms us, such as getting drunk with alcohol, sexual immorality, or trusting in our money too much. He tells us not to. It says, trust me. When that alcohol, you could get drunk and you could die. Trust me. That sexual immorality, you could get STDs, you could have all sorts of emotional and physical just problems. And if you trust in money, that's a piece of paper. You don't need that. It's just a symbol that says you have a lot of stuff. Trust me, I can give you what you need. Let that money go and trust in me. Well, we hear that, we say, we hear that, God, but we don't want to do that. We want to do our own thing, and you want to make it easier. We found this scientific stuff, but we're going to just say you're not even real, so we don't have to listen to you. In the Old Testament, he protected those who were good. He promoted justice, but he still offered mercy in those situations when people didn't deserve it. He didn't have to, and he probably shouldn't have. If you want to go on a completely fair system, which a lot of people want to, it's not very fair. But it's loving. And now, he's telling us he loves us. He cares for us. He made us. He raised us up, protected us. And after everything we've done, so far as to pretend he's not even real, he's going to forgive us. He's saying, I love you. I forgive you. Accept me so I can forgive you. You can come to heaven with me. We can be together again like we were in the beginning. How can we ask for a more loving God than that? Thank you.